It's genuinely astonishing, isn't it? You blink, and there are like a dozen new AI tools popping up. Features we just couldn't have imagined even months ago.
Absolutely. The pace right now is just,
Yeah.
it's breathtaking. A constant stream of new capabilities, new potential.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to try and cut through some of the noise, focus on the really significant recent leaps in AI.
Mm-hmm.
Our exploration is based partly on Kevin Brake's ongoing work, always value his insights, and of course the big announcements from the major players.
Exactly. We've sort of synthesized Kevin's latest findings with the key updates from, Anthropic, Microsoft Build, Google I/O, and some other interesting bits and pieces.
Right.
The idea is to bring you the core info and maybe the so what behind these advancements.
So if you're looking to get up to speed quickly on what's really moving the needle in AI right now, hopefully this is the place.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this, maybe starting with Kevin Brake's perspective. From his research, what's his sort of overarching feeling about all these new tools and features?
Well, Kevin's still a real, a fervent believer in AI's power.
Yeah.
He put it very simply recently, just said, wow, AI is just amazing and getting better every day. And his research consistently backs that up,
Yeah.
highlighting the constant progress, the expanding horizons of what AI can actually do.
It's great to hear that kind of enthusiasm from someone so deep in it. Makes you wonder where it's all heading.
Definitely.
Speaking of impressive stuff, let's turn to Anthropic. Their recent news, especially around code with Claude. What were the key takeaways there?
Yeah, Claude. What's really striking is the reported performance of Claude 4 in coding and reasoning benchmarks.
Okay.
Apparently, it came out ahead of both Gemini 2.5 and GPT-4 in those tests.
Wow. Ahead of GPT-4.
Those specific tests, yeah. Which suggests, a real step up in its ability to understand and generate code. And they've also got this interesting hybrid mode. You can choose between like a quick response or a deeper, more thought out one. Depends on the task.
That sounds really practical. For developers, I mean.
Yeah, that flexibility could be a real game changer. I heard it even coded a whole app.
You heard right. There was this demo where Claude 4 quickly coded up a Python budget tracker app.
From scratch.
Uh-huh. And apparently the result was surprisingly polished, pretty user-friendly, which kind of hints at a future where maybe software development gets a lot faster, more accessible, maybe smaller teams, even individuals, building complex stuff.
Right. But for now, it seems Anthropic is really focusing these capabilities on the developer community.
Gotcha. So less about general chatbot tasks, more for the builders.
Exactly.
Now, wasn't there some confusion or clarification needed about an X post? Something about ethics.
Yeah. A researcher, Sam Bowman, posted about a test scenario. It showed Claude could potentially flag unethical behavior, specifically around manipulating research data.
Okay.
But Anthropic clarified pretty quickly. So this was under very specific test conditions, not like a feature ready for the real world, more an exploration of its understanding.
Okay. That puts it in context. Right. Let's pivot then. Microsoft Build. They had a ton of AI announcements, didn't they?
They really did. One really fascinating one was Microsoft Discovery.
Discovery.
Yeah, it's a graph-based AI. So it uses interconnected data points, looking for patterns, relationships, really suited for complex science research.
Oh, it found something.
It did. A major breakthrough, actually. It identified a new battery electrolyte that needs considerably less lithium.
Wow, less lithium. That's huge.
Huge. Really exciting implications for, more sustainable energy storage, maybe less reliance on traditional lithium sources.
That's a really tangible impact, a
Yeah.
real-world problem.
Exactly.
And Copilot, their AI assistant, that's getting integrated everywhere, right?
Absolutely. Copilot now has ChatGPT's image generation built right into Microsoft 365.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they showed this pretty striking example, a futuristic city chart generated inside Excel.
A city chart in Excel.
Yeah, though, the architectural planning might have been a little ambitious, maybe slightly askew.
Huh. Needs a bit of urban planning AI, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't just the big apps getting AI boosts, was it? Even basic Windows tools.
Correct. Yeah, even things like Paint and Notepad.
Yeah.
Paint can generate stickers. Now, someone made a comment sticker, apparently.
A comment sticker in Paint.
Okay.
And Notepad gets AI features to help sharpen up your writing, refine drafts, little things, but they can make everyday tasks, creative stuff, productivity just a bit easier.
Those sound genuinely useful. Small enhancements, but for common tasks. Good stuff. And for the developers listening, what did Microsoft show on the coding side at Build?
The big news there was open sourcing GitHub Copilot as a coding agent within VS Code.
An agent, meaning?
Meaning it's designed to sort of autonomously write code based on wireframes or simple outlines.
Okay.
They demoed it building a payment gateway from just a basic description. Pretty quick, too.
Wow.
And because it's open source now, the expectation is we'll see a whole bunch of similar AI coding tools popping up from the community. Could really democratize things. It really feels like we're on the edge of a big shift in how software gets made. Okay, Google I/O. They definitely didn't hold back either. Where do we even start with it?
Oh, yeah. A good starting point is probably VO3, their latest video generation model.
VO3, right.
It can produce pretty compelling video clips now, complete with generated dialogue, sound effects, even music.
Dialogue and music, too.
Uh-huh. The example they showed, A Night in a Misty Forest, it was visually quite stunning.
I feel butt coming. I heard there were some interesting quirks.
Yeah, there were definitely some glitches reported, especially the horse's legs in that night video.
Yeah.
A bit wobbly. And also weird random subtitles appearing sometimes. Like the word quest, spelled out Q-W-E-S-T.
Q-W-E-S-T. Okay, that's odd.
And access is currently limited. It's only on their top-tier Google AI Ultra plan, and you only get 5 prompts.
Only 5 prompts. For video gen, that seems restrictive.
Yeah, it could definitely limit experimentation for a lot of people. There's a tip floating around for the subtitle issue, though. Seems like avoiding quotation marks in your dialogue prompts helps prevent those random subtitles.
That's it.
And they also talked about improvements to VO2, better camera controls, things like outpainting, expanding the video frame,
filling in the edges.
Yeah. And object removal from video, too.
So even with the quirks, some powerful creative tools emerging there. What about Google Flow? That's their filmmaker platform.
Exactly. They showed it off with this really visually impressive scene, spaceship landing on a desert planet. Looked great.
But, still sensing a but.
But when they tried to add a prompt like aliens greet ship, apparently the system lost the audio track.
Oh, dear.
And even seemed to revert to using VO2's capabilities. So it suggests Flow is still, early days, needs refinement.
Yeah, sounds like incredible potential, but definitely some rough edges still. What else from Google I/O stood out?
Imagen 4, their image generation model. Looks like a big step up. High degree of detail, coherence. They showed examples like a dystopian city, and you could actually read the text on the billboards. That legibility is pretty impressive.
Readable text is a classic challenge.
Exactly. And Google Beam, their idea for immersive 3D video calls. That sounds interesting, too. Potentially much more engaging than standard 2D calls.
3D video calls, yeah, that is fascinating. Takes remote communication up a level. What about hardware from Google? Anything there?
Android XR glasses. These could be really transformative.
XR glasses, what do they do?
Imagine glasses giving you real-time language translation, like subtitles in your vision.
Whoa.
Or integrated maps for navigation overlaid on your view. Huge for travel, accessibility.
That definitely sounds like science fiction becoming real. And search. Google Search is getting an AI upgrade, too.
Yep, AI mode in search. It can handle more complex, multi-part questions now.
Okay.
And crucially, it cites its sources, much like Perplexity does.
That's important.
Yeah, so you could ask about, say, AI in education and key figures, and it gives you a synthesized answer with links back to the original sources. That transparency is really valuable.
Absolutely. Knowing where the info comes from is key with AI. What about their base AI models? Updates on Gemini and the others?
Gemini 2.5 Pro and Flash were announced. Pro gets a deep think mode for more complex reasoning.
Deep think.
Yeah. And Flash is positioned as a faster, more efficient model, sort of competing with things like GPT-4 Mini on speed and resource use.
Right, the smaller, faster models.
They also introduced Gemma 3N, designed to run efficiently right on mobile phones. And Jules, that's envisioned as an async coding agent. It works in the background on coding tasks for you.
An agent working in the background. Interesting.
And for note takers, Notebook LM, their AI notebook app, now has a mobile version. Plus, it's getting features like different summary lengths for your notes, like podcast length and even video overviews.
Wow, okay. Google really is innovating across the board. Hardware, software, core models.
Seems like it.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Beyond the big conferences, what other AI news has been making headlines lately? Anything else jump out?
Well, OpenAI's Codex, their coding AI, it continues to evolve. There was an example of it generating a recipe app recently. Needed a bit of tweaking on the search function, apparently, but still impressive.
Right. Still needs that human touch sometimes.
Sometimes. And Mistral's latest model, Debstral, is getting attention. Reports say it's outperforming even GPT 4.1 in some areas.
Outperforming 4.1.
Yeah. And remarkably, it can supposedly run on consumer hardware, like an RTX 4090 graphics card.
On a consumer GPU, that's pretty significant for accessibility.
Very significant. Brings that kind of power closer to more people.
What other interesting developments caught your eye?
Stability AI showed off stable video 4D. It converts 2D video into 3D models.
2D to 3D video, how does that work?
Well, imagine taking a regular video clip, say, of a helicopter, and turning it into a full 3D scene you could potentially view from different angles. Shopify launched an AI-powered store builder, aiming to make setting up online shops easier.
Makes sense for them.
And Perplexity introduced Perplexity Comet. It's like a specialized browser, just for digging into data from X profiles, formerly Twitter.
A browser for X data, that could be really useful for researchers or anyone tracking trends.
Could be. Unlocking social media insights. And finally, that slightly mysterious OpenAI and Jony Ive collaboration.
Yes. What's the latest there?
Well, OpenAI acquired Jony Ive's design firm, the firm behind, so many iconic Apple designs.
Right, the design legend.
And they're reportedly working together on a new screen-free AI device.
Screen-free.
Yeah. Speculation's running wild, maybe something like an AI necklace, kind of reminiscent of the old iPod Shuffle idea.
An AI necklace. Designed by Jony Ive. That's intriguing.
It is. Details are scarce, obviously, but having Ive involved has generated a lot of buzz. Talk about boosting OpenAI's potential valuation and maybe a totally new way to interact with AI.
A screen-free AI device. Yeah, that really does feel like a potential new phase in how we use this tech.
Absolutely. When you look at the sheer volume, the variety of all these advancements we've just talked about, Kevin Brake's positive outlook seems completely justified.
Yeah.
AI isn't just creeping forward. In many areas, it feels like exponential leaps. Capability, application.
Yeah.
It's all accelerating.
So for you listening, it's worth thinking about the impact. How might these rapidly evolving tools and features affect your interests, your work, maybe just your daily life? The speed is truly remarkable.
It really is. And if you want to dig deeper into any of this, we definitely recommend checking out the official websites and blogs. Anthropic, Microsoft, Google AI, OpenAI, they all have tons of detailed info.
Yeah, good point. And if you found this deep dive helpful, please do take a second to like it, maybe leave a comment, let us know your thoughts or any questions you have about these advancements. We always appreciate hearing from you.
It's just an incredibly dynamic, exciting time for AI. The potential to shape our future, really across countless areas, it feels immense right now.